So glad you're with us at 6 a.m. here on this Thursday, getting a little closer to that Friday, everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Vanessa Paz. Let's go ahead and get a check on your forecast with meteorologist Evan Arani. And I'm hearing some showers potentially.
Seems like
in the
tonight
future.
into early tomorrow.
Yeah, it was wet overnight up in North County.
Yeah, this is
wow.
our second morning in a row where we've seen some scattered showers. This is all thanks to that low pressure system that's nearby. It brought plenty of wind over the last couple of days. Wind advisory was in effect out toward our mountains and deserts. We've felt the cooler temperatures, and we've had a lot of views like this to wake up in the morning. This isn't exactly the most menacing sight. I mean, the clouds clearly have started to break apart a bit. You can look toward that top right corner and see a little bit of blue. So we're going to be moving in that direction pretty quickly. However, overnight we picked up on a few more showers, very similar to this time yesterday morning. You might have a few puddles on the ground, a few hundredths of an inch. And then as we go into late tonight and early tomorrow, we've got another opportunity for those showers to come to fruition. In the meantime, a partly cloudy afternoon, temperatures on the cooler side of average. We'll be talking more about a big switch up in this forecast for the weekend and early next week as temperatures begin to warm. Details are in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Later this morning, prosecution testimony is set to resume in the trial of Larry Miliete.
Yesterday, Chula Vista police were back on the stand, as were Maya's boss and brother, with bombshell testimony. News 8's Tori Apodaca live outside the South Bay courthouse with everything that's happened in court here. Tori.
Hi, good morning. It was another gripping day for day 6 of this trial. We heard from a Chula Vista police detective who said that Larry Miliete was sending emails to spellcasters in the 4 months leading up to his wife Maya Miliete's disappearance. Let's go ahead and catch you up to speed on all of this. This video you're seeing is from the pretrial, as cameras are not currently allowed. But on a laptop, investigators say that they uncovered Larry searching for love spells, black magic spells, Punisher spells, emergency spells, hexes for revenge, and subliminal wife training. The Chula Vista police detective also showed Larry had been keeping a log of Maya's whereabouts, documenting when she went to Walmart, when she went to lunch, with screenshots of Maya Miliete's social media account, plus the social media account of the man Maya was having an affair with. Defense continues to say police did not thoroughly investigate that man or his now ex-wife. Both are set to testify, though, during Larry's trial. More police body camera footage was also played during the trial, showing the initial search of their vehicles on January 10th, after Maya's sister reported her missing. Prosecutors alleging Maya was killed on January 7th. The officer testified that Larry's vehicle was exceptionally clean, whereas Maya's had a hatchet, hammer, mallet, knife, gloves, and duct tape. Maya's brother also took the stand, saying that Larry reached out to him upset about Maya's affair and asked if he knew anyone who could kill the other man. Maya's brother says it wasn't worth it. 6 months later, Maya disappeared. Maya's brother is expected to be cross-examined today. That trial will resume at 9 a.m. here at the South Bay Courthouse. Reporting live in Chula Vista, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
Tori, thank you. An update here this morning. The woman accused of hitting and killing a 6-year-old boy in Pacific Beach has been ordered to stand trial. 32-year-old Tiffany Sanchez is charged with vehicular manslaughter, fleeing the scene of a fatal crash, and driving with an expired license. This happened on January 17th in an alleyway at the intersection of Ingram Street and Pacific Beach Drive. The courtroom was packed to hear Hudson O'Loughlin's parents give their emotional testimony during yesterday's preliminary hearing.
Blue, and he was convulsing. I was asked to hold his lights down so that we can keep him still.
He just was having trouble breathing, and then we laid him down, and well, he died.
The trial is set to begin in September. Hundreds of thousands of Californians could be at risk of losing their food benefits.
New federal work requirements are set to take effect in just a matter of days. News 8's Chris Crow joins us now live in studio to break down these stricter rules. Hey, Chris.
Yeah. Hey, guys. A lot of people need to pay attention to this one. As you mentioned, hundreds of thousands of Californians at risk here if they do not update their eligibility. June 1st is the date. That's next Monday. Since it's right around the corner, we're working for you to make sure you know what the changes are, and if it does impact you, then how. So there are changes to SNAP, which is the federal funding for CalFresh, set to go into effect on Monday. CalFresh here in our state, last year's H.R. 1, or Big Beautiful Bill, contained several changes to SNAP eligibility rules. Some recipients must now work 20 hours a week. Those requirements apply to adults 55 to 64, parents whose children are 14 or older, and veterans. The new eligibility requirements will only apply to new applicants and people recertifying their benefits. People who do not meet the new work requirements will only be able to receive benefits for 3 months in a 3-year period. People exempt from requirements include pregnant women, anyone with disabilities or caring for someone with disabilities, parents with children under 14, or people going to school at least half the time. California lawmakers are attempting to inject as much as $100 million into CalFresh to help offset some of this. And there's a tool on the CalFresh Work website to determine if you're still eligible. Eric?
Chris, thank you. Amid those changes to CalFresh, the state is launching its SunBucks program. It provides $120 per child for food benefits while kids are on summer break. The state is mailing out EBT cards to eligible families. You can qualify if your child gets free or reduced price school meals or receives CalFresh, CalWorks, or Medi-Cal. Over 3.5 million kids have been automatically enrolled this year. Those cards should be arriving soon. If your child is not automatically enrolled, you can apply through your child's school by August 31st.
Today, you can weigh in on the county's proposed $9 billion spending plan. It includes more than $850 million to support programs like CalFresh and Medi-Cal, $176 million for behavioral health treatment, and nearly $270 million for road safety and maintenance. An open house is being held at 5 p.m. at the County Operations Center today. You can also submit comments through June 11th before supervisors vote on final approval by June 23rd. This morning, we are hearing from people who are protesting proposed cuts to arts and culture programs in the city of San Diego. Nearly $12 million could be cut. The mayor's office did restore millions for libraries and rec centers in the revised $6.4 billion budget proposal, as well as fully restored funding to December nights. But many people spoke at a budget hearing last night and a rally beforehand.
Instead of cutting the arts, we should be doubling down. If you really want to cut the budget or activate that budget, you double down on investing in your arts infrastructure in order to attract cultural tourists to come and spend money here. And it's just so incredibly short-sighted.
A final vote on the budget could be taken as early as June 9th and must be finalized by June 30th.
All right, let's take a look outside here on this Thursday. Some cloud cover, a little blue sky out the side we're seeing there.
Yeah, more and more of it, at least through this hour, it seems. So we've already started to brighten up quite a bit from our beach views out here. You can see some of the orange tones coming through on that sunrise that was just a few minutes ago. We're tracking temperatures mostly in the 50s and 60s. Although there are a handful of inland valleys that are in the 40s to start off the morning, and our mountains, boy, they're in the 30s to kick off the day. Today's forecast takes us to the 60s pretty much across the board. Partly cloudy conditions, still a light breeze, despite the fact that that wind advisory has now expired toward our local mountains and deserts. This is what we're talking about. Mount Laguna is right now at 32 degrees, just at freezing. 47 in Ramona, 48 in Escondido, but mostly along our coast, we are in the 50s. Borrego, like I mentioned, has seen that wind advisory expire. But the message here is that while that low pressure system is still nearby, we're going to be watching for breezy conditions nonetheless. They might not be concerning. However, there's still going to be a pretty decent climb into the afternoon stretch. Upper 20 or so mile per hour range going into that afternoon window. We're also still continuing to track onshore flow. So this low pressure system that's just off to the northeast of us is going to continue to move northeast as the next couple days come around. That'll take us farther away from the cooler temperatures that we've seen, the cloudier skies, the breezy conditions, and last but not least, the scattered showers that have been coming to fruition each morning. Yesterday morning, we picked up on a few hundredths of an inch. Today, the same situation. And then a final push of moisture is expected as we go into early tomorrow morning. So that's why today and tomorrow, we're still holding on to those cooler temperatures, and then we'll watch for a climb in temperatures as we get toward the upcoming weekend. It's all as that low pressure system exits and a ridge of high pressure builds in its place. So for anyone who was hoping for Memorial Day heat or for summer to really kind of kick into high gear this past Monday. Looks like at least by this upcoming Monday, we'll be in the slightly above average range. Upper 70s, low 80s out there in El Cajon. That'll keep us on the warmer side of average in most cases. We just have to get through today and tomorrow. And even with these temperatures a few degrees below average, we've still actually had some pretty comfortable afternoons over the last few days. Just might warrant maybe a jacket or a sweater going into the evening stretch. Let's take a look at how things are faring in terms of traffic this morning. Want to take you to the 15. This is the northbound 15 at Villa Rancho. It is really quiet out there. Also, plus side to this is that we've got plenty of sunshine out there. So you can see how the sun is beaming down. Depending on where you're at, might still be under a few clouds, especially closer to the coastline. We've also noticed a few spots where the roads might be a little wet to kick off the morning. Looks like a crash, or at least debris that was on the road, has now been cleared. This was blocking the carpool lane previously in the Rancho Penasquitos area on the 15 southbound at Carmel Mountain Road. You're back to smooth speeds in both directions there. We did have a crash in Oceanside that's now been cleared off to the right-hand shoulder. That's a +2. CHP is on scene. We're working to get more information on that. But of course, for the latest, you can also head to our website, cbs8.com/traffic. Checking in on your border wait times. It is a 70-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. Going to take you a little bit longer this time to get across the Otay Mesa Port of Entry, about an hour and a half in total.